Hi kids, happy Tuesday. This is Lindsay again. We're going to look at page 165 in our world. We want to finish the sentences for Leonardo da Vinci. So look at page 165. All right. Number 1. If I go too fast, you can always stop the video and write your answers and then start the video again. Again, today I will ask some questions and ask some students to help me answer those questions in the comments. So I hope everyone watches the whole video. All right, number 1, Leonardo bought birds in the market and ate them. No, you know that's not true. Leonardo was a vegetarian. He didn't eat those birds. And we know he let them go. What's another way to say let go? Released, past tense. Leonardo bought birds at the market and released them. All right. He studied the birds' wings so he could design a flying machine, a machine that could fly. Today we would call that a glider or a helicopter or an airplane, but he called it a flying machine. Number 3, Leonardo also designed a... If you're not sure about the answers, you can always look in the book. But I'll tell you, we know, we read it, a helicopter and a parachute. Number 5, Mona Lisa is one of the most famous teachers in the world. No. Mona Lisa is one of the most famous 4th grade students in the world. No. Mona Lisa is one of the most famous paintings in the world. You know, a lot of people think Mona Lisa is the most beautiful painting in the world. And that might be true. But I'll tell you a secret about Mona Lisa. It became very famous because someone stole it. It was in the museum and someone stole Mona Lisa, the painting. And police all over the world went crazy looking for it. So in the newspapers, they all talked about who stole the Mona Lisa? Where's the Mona Lisa? The police are looking for Mona Lisa. And finally, they found the painting. Now, after that, because the newspapers had all talked about Mona Lisa, she definitely became the most famous painting in the world. We don't know if she's the most beautiful. Maybe you think she is, maybe you don't. But a lot of people think she's the most beautiful painting. And I keep saying she because the painting is of a woman, but you could say it. But definitely, Mona Lisa is the most famous painting in the world. Okay. Leonardo lived from 1452 to, and there's only one date, to 1519. So you can add up how old he was when he died. So let's do that. Who can I ask? In Teacher Joyce's class, let's ask somebody very naughty. Randall, what a good boy. I want you to help me, Randall. How old was Leonardo da Vinci when he died? So we know when he was born, and we know when he died. So use your math and you tell us and write it on Grammar Friends. Not Grammar Friends, write it on the comments on the video. So in the comments, Randall, you need to tell me, how old was he when he died? Was he 20 years old when he died? Was he 80 years old when he died? So Randall, you use math and you tell me, how old was he when he died? Let's do another question for Teacher Emily's class. Teacher Emily, let's see, who's a good student I can... Oh, Rena. Rena, write the answer to this question. Let's see. Tell me something that Leonardo did not eat. Tell me something that Leonardo did not eat. Because he's this kind of a person, you know he doesn't eat. So what didn't Leonardo eat? That's the question for Rena. All right, at the bottom. Answer the questions, work with a partner. You and I can be partners. Why were people surprised when Leonardo released the birds he had bought? Why were people surprised? Well, I hope you can talk about this and use English to tell me why they were surprised. Well, you could say he was wasting money. He had to buy the birds. And if he released the birds, he was letting his money fly away. So he was wasting money. People were surprised because he was wasting money. Those people either ate the birds or kept the birds as pet. The same as us. Sometimes we eat birds, sometimes we keep them as pets. But he didn't do that. He released the birds. Number 2, which of Leonardo's inventions is the most important in your opinion? So there is no right or wrong answer. This is just your opinion. Maybe you think his helicopter was the most important invention. Maybe you think his glider was the most important invention. Leonardo invented many things. So you tell me, what do you think was his most important invention? Number 3, Leonardo's inventions were probably not made in his lifetime. Why? Well, Leonardo liked to be creative, but he was also critical. He thought critically. He knew if somebody made those inventions, they could get hurt. He didn't want to hurt anyone, so they probably didn't make the glider or the other flying machines. Because if somebody flew that glider, if somebody was the pilot in his helicopter, well, those people could die. So he had a lot of ideas, but he thought critically. He knew they were not safe. All right, express yourself. Choose an activity. Look at pictures of some of Leonardo's inventions. Choose an invention of your own and draw it in the same style as Leonardo's works. Add labels. Well, I'm not a very good artist, but we can talk about this. If you look at his invention, do you see the picture there? That's a helicopter. He used black and white, and he drew everything the helicopter needed. And then it says to use labels. So you need to draw an arrow that says wings, seat, top, bottom. When kids in school draw on their papers, sometimes it looks like Leonardo's drawings because they're also drawing some ideas they have. So it's okay if you do that. Maybe you'll be a famous inventor someday. All right, imagine a scene at the market when Leonardo buys some caged birds. Those are birds in cages. What do people say? What happens next? Write a short play. Work in a small group and act it out. Oh, I wish we were at school. We could write a short play and play A-B. Maybe some old woman sees Leonardo and she says, look, Leonardo is buying some birds. Maybe he's going to cook them for dinner. And another old woman says, oh, maybe he loves animals and he wants a new pet. And then when he opens the cage and lets them fly away, Leonardo can explain to the women, no, I want to study the birds. I want to see how they fly. He's a scientist also, right? He's an artist, a scientist, an inventor. So maybe in the market, all of those people would talk about that. Some people would say he was crazy. Some people will say he's a scientist. Make a poster of Leonardo's inventions alongside the same inventions in the modern day. So if you drew a poster, you could draw Leonardo's helicopter, like on page 164, and then put a picture of a helicopter on the right. You could draw his glider, and then a picture of real gliders today. So all of those things. I like the one about the airplane because Leonardo's airplanes, the wings went up and down like birds. But today, of course, airplanes don't do that. Airplanes don't flap their wings. Okay? So you could put a picture of Leonardo's funny airplane next to a modern airplane and talk about how they are different and how they are the same. All right, I want to turn the page all the way to 166 and look at the dialogue. The dialogue, let's talk, is very useful. It's like our AB. So let's look at it. Wow, that's cool. I will ask questions. I will show I'm interested. I will keep the conversation going. Now, this is very important. I wanted to play a game called Coffee Shop, where two students go to the front of the class and they cannot ask questions. They can only say something. So one student sits down and says, wow, the weather is very nice today. And the other student says, maybe it will rain later. And the other one says, maybe we should order some tea and cake. And the other kid said, do they have coffee? You made a mistake. You can't ask a question. In that game, two people sit down. They ask questions, and if you ask a question, you will lose. But usually, when we're talking to each other, we ask questions, right? What are you doing? What do you want to order? Will it rain later? So in this game, at the top, they ask questions. In my game, you don't ask questions. You just make statements, affirmative sentences. But you have to show that you're interested. If you're not interested in anything, nobody wants to talk to you. So you show you're interested, and then you keep the conversation going. You can't stop. So when your friend says something, you have to say something. And your friend says something, and I say something. So it's like tennis or badminton. One person says something, the other person says something. All right, let's look at these two kids, Pablo and Mario. Pablo and Mario are wearing soccer uniforms. Let's go. What's your favorite sport? Soccer. I want to be a professional soccer player. And what does professional mean? That means that Mario's job is playing soccer. He doesn't have another job. Somebody pays him to play soccer every day. So he's a professional soccer player. Do you? Yeah. What about you? What's your favorite sport? I love soccer too. My dad is taking me to the World Cup. What is the World Cup? The World Cup is just a big soccer competition. Every time they have the World Cup, it goes to a different city. So if you want to watch the World Cup, maybe you have to go to Tokyo or New York or some other city around the world. So he's very lucky. That means his father is going to take him on a long vacation to see the World Cup. And then Mario says, wow, that's so cool. Now, there are other ways that you could have a conversation. Let's look at them. Do you? Can you? Are you? Really? Wow. What about you? How about you? And you? There are many things you could say. That's so cool. That's amazing. Lindsay's so cool. Oh, no. How cool. All right. On page 167, we're going to look at the next AB. What does that mean? So let's read the top. I will interrupt something, formally or informally. Interrupt means if I'm talking, you stop me. I will ask the meaning, and ask how to spell or say something. I will explain a meaning and give a spelling. I will say that I don't know. I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm talking and I say, I had a great trip to Belize. And somebody says, wait, stop, don't tell me any more. Please, before you tell me more, where is Belize? So you stop, you interrupt, and you ask a question. Where is Belize? And then the other person will tell you, and you could say, how do you spell that? And they will tell you how to spell that. So let's look at the dialogue on 167. Antonio and Martina. Hey, Martina, what does this word mean? I don't know. I think it's a kind of invention. I don't think so. Why don't you ask the teacher? That's a good idea. Excuse me, Miss Biga. What does this word mean? All right, and of course there are many things you could say. How do you spell soccer? How do you pronounce this word? How do you say banana in English? I think it's a kind of invention. I think it means mountain. It's the opposite of good. And then I don't know, I'm not sure. That's a good idea. Good point. I like that sentence. Good point. If somebody says something that you think is very true, and everybody should remember it, you'll say, good point. All right, we're going to stop and turn our book back a little bit. Do you remember page 163? We're now going to write that page. So take out a pencil for page 163. At the top, let's start writing it. 163 in our world. Let's read the definition. This is a person who moves, turns, and spins on ice. What do you call that person? A skater. If I go too fast, just stop the video. Collecting fossils is an example of this. What is collecting fossils an example of? A hobby. This is a person who invents things. The answer is bus driver. No. This is a person who invents things. What is it? An inventor. This is a creature which lived millions of years ago. Don't say Teacher Lindsay. Number 4, the answer would be dinosaur. Dinosaurs lived millions of years ago, but of course, we know there are still dinosaurs today because birds are actually related to dinosaurs. They are their children. Okay. It is the opposite of alone. And the answer is together. Very good. It's the opposite of away from. Away from, the opposite is toward. Toward. So I am running away from you. I am running toward you. Away from, toward. Away from, toward. Okay? The more you push these, the higher they go. So the more you push these, the higher they go. And that would be swings. Because when you push a swing, and Randall goes flying away. Okay, good. What's the opposite of succeed? Let's say the word again, succeed. Succeed is a verb. And if you succeed, you are successful. So you want to do something, you do it, and you succeed. And the opposite is you fail. Failing is not bad. You just have to try again. Okay. All right. We've finished that page. It's a little difficult to write page 162 because I don't have the CD for it. We finished writing Leonardo da Vinci. Let's ask some questions. All right. in teacher Emily's class, I want to ask Elaine. Elaine, was Leonardo a famous artist and inventor? Was Leonardo a famous artist and inventor? Let's think about teacher Joyce's class. Let's ask Nikki. Nikki, was Leonardo known, Known, for his kindness to animals? Was Leonardo known for his kindness to animals? Let's try another one in teacher Emily's class. Teacher Emily's class, let's try, who didn't I ask? Matt. Matt. Okay, good. How long is 1 century? The book says he was centuries ahead of his time. How long is 1 century? Is it 1 year, 10 years, 50 years, 100 years, 1,000 years? How long is 1 century? All right, one more for teacher, let me see, teacher Joyce's class. Okay, we'll try this. Tell me the name of Leonardo's famous painting. Leonardo has one painting that's very famous. So which Leonardo painting was very famous? Which painting was very famous? Is very famous, but it's okay. Which painting is very famous? You can write 1 or 2 names, I don't care. If you write 1, that's good enough. All right, we finished those pages. Look at page 166. Who can I ask? In teacher Emily's class, let's ask Cash. Cash? What is soccer's big competition called? What is soccer's big competition called? You can find the answer on page 166. Okay, somebody in teacher Joyce's class, Charles. Charles, let's look at page 167. Okay. What is, in your opinion, the most useful invention? What is the most useful invention in your opinion? What is the most useful invention in your in your opinion? In your opinion. So you guys write the answers to that. And one more for, let's see whose class, teacher Emily's class. Let's do, oh, I know, Jeremy. Jeremy, answer this, write it in your comments on this one. Do you have good English pronunciation? If you don't know how to spell pronunciation, you can look on page 67, number 4. You can see the word pronunciation. It's how you say a word. So do you have good English pronunciation? So Jeremy, write the answer in the comments. Do you have good English pronunciation? Good, good, good. All right, we've jumped there. Let's review something. Let's go and look at page 154 again. On 154, when you throw a ball, what happens? When you throw a ball, what happens? Well, you've already written the answer. When you throw a ball, gravity pulls it toward the earth. But the question is, when you throw a ball, what happens? Look at number 2. Don't go in that direction. Turn left. So here's a question for Teacher Joyce's class. Let's ask Patty. When you leave the school, you turn left to go home. Are you going in the right direction or the wrong direction? You leave the school and you turn left. Are you going in the right direction or the wrong direction? Good. Let's ask a question for Teacher Michelle's class. I know. Let's ask Ariel. Both Ariels. Both. Ariel, are you interested in playing soccer with the boys' team? Are you interested in playing soccer with the boys' team? You know, some people want to play soccer, but they don't want to play boys and girls together because boys are so mean and so dangerous. So, Ariel, are you interested in playing soccer with the boys? And one more question. Who can I ask for? Let's see. Teacher Joyce's class on page 154. You remember the word swings? Teacher Joyce's class, let's ask, let me think. Melody. Both Melodies can answer. Melody, when you want to ride your bicycle and turn left, which way do you lean? You want to turn left. So which way do you lean? You lean left or you lean right? So both Melodies can write it. Perfect. All right. You have your stickers at the bottom. We've written the answers for page 155. What is a bicycle? This is a machine which you can ride in the park. Got it? So, number 2. What is skateboarding? Who can write this answer for me? In Teacher Emily's class, Ryan 1, write the answer in the comments. What is skateboarding? What is skateboarding? And it has the answer. If you look at number 2, you can see the answer. So it's not difficult. So Ryan 2, write it in the comments. What is skateboarding? If you wrote the answer last time, it will be easy for you. And in Teacher Joyce's class, let's ask Wayne. What is friction? What is friction? So Wayne, write that answer in the comments. Write the answer, Wayne. What is friction? If you're looking at the answer on page 155, it will be easy for you. But if somebody didn't write page 55, they don't know the answer. All right, one more question for Emily's class. All right, who can I ask? Teacher Emily's class. Let's ask, somebody smart. Let me think. Oh, Ryan 2. Ryan 2. Do you know the direction to the police station? Do you know the direction to the police station? Okay, very good. All right, class, we're going to stop there. Next time, we'll do some more in Grammar Friends. See you then. Bye-bye.